Here at AAIS, we see three big trends affecting the auto insurance industry, what we like to refer to as their trifecta. First, there was telematics, then there was the advent of ride-sharing, and now there's the development of autonomous vehicles. But telematics came onto the scene about 10 years ago, and really what it allowed carriers to do was integrate new data about driver behavior. Beforehand, we had to use proxies for rating information, how far you drove, but what we couldn't tell was how you drove those miles, where you were driving those miles. This information allows you to get much more refined with your rating information, much more specific to the driver characteristics, and much more accurate and sophisticated in your rating. With telematics, what you were able to find was driver behavior. What ride-sharing is doing is actually altering driving behavior. Instead of people using their vehicle just for their own personal use, even if that was driving to and from work, now you see people using their personal vehicles less and using them more in a commercial sense, using it to provide rides to people for a profit, which is not something that was typically contemplated in the personal auto policy. First, we had telematics, which is trying to measure driver behavior. Then you have ride sharing, which is altering driving behavior. And now you have companies that are developing autonomous vehicle, which promises to eliminate driving behavior. What you won't have is the driver in control of the vehicle at all. These types of vehicles promise literally complete autonomy. You get into the vehicle and it takes you where you want to go. You no longer have a driver braking too hard or accelerating too fast or making any of the mistakes that contribute to 90% of the auto accidents in the country. It's controlled by a machine now. What we see with telematics, ride sharing, you're able to, again, measure driver behavior better, even in its altered state with the advent of the ride sharing. With autonomous vehicles, you're really going to see liability and other exposures on the personal auto market side shift more into a commercial auto exposure. Instead of an individual being liable for an accident, it's going to be the software programmer. It's going to be the OEM equipment manufacturer. So the risk itself is going to shift away from the personal auto insurers, more into the commercial auto insurers, product liability, and those types of risks.